You have to touch the bottom, and then you realize what the freedom is. That is the problem. You did not experience partitions, not being on the map for 123 years like Poland. You did not experience communism, real communism. I do remember as a little kid, 5, 6 years old, queuing for shoes for all night. I didn't get them, I remember that. I know what the communism is. You don't, and I hope you will not experience what we experience with Islamism, radical Islamism and caliphate.
Dom, Stefan just rang me to come in.
He says he's here.
Oh, he's here, okay. I'm going to look for some litter to try and prove you wrong.
Yeah, we can ask. Prove me wrong.
I'm looking around for some litter somewhere, look.
Where is it?
I know, look. There isn't any.
You pick up the street.
There isn't any,
You
look.
can pick up any direction.
Look.
Why
Isn't it
is
mad?
that?
Why is that? Well, because you have no mass immigration,
There you
Dominic.
go. Because we've got patriots who cares about their own home. We don't see this as a land.
Do you know in Luton, let me tell you this, do you know how you know when you're going into like a Muslim area? Because they literally just open the door and throw the sofa out. And it's just on the road. The sofa, the bed, whatever when they're changing their furniture or changing or getting inside, they open the door and just throw it out.
No, it doesn't work. It wouldn't happen. Wouldn't happen.
Where's Stefan?
Where's Stefan? He says he's here. Let me call him.
That looks like him.
There he is.
Oh, look, raise the colours. Raise the colours isn't anything new in Poland. Every lamppost, all along this road, look all the way down the Ice for tomorrow.
This is what we do.
Is it always like this?
No one would dare to take it down. No one.
Where in the UK,
It's against the law.
it's against the law.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of in the UK that the councils pay people to go out and take the flags down?
They should be jailed. The council people should be jailed. This is your national colours. You can't do it.
Look, you couldn't have a British flag at that height because it would be gone. Look at that. It'd be gone. It'd be ripped down.
That's a jail.
But probably,
That's
when
a jail, Tom.
do you know who would rip it down? Probably not someone from a diverse background or a migrant background. It would be a left-wing, white apologist.
Doesn't matter who. He should be jailed because this is
Look at all the flags. Look.
this
Beautiful.
is your national flag. People died for these colours. Died. This is not just an object. This is much more. So you have to respect it. If you do not respect, leave the country. Leave the country. That's it. You don't have to be in Britain. You don't have to be in US if you hate it. Just leave it. Go to Somalia.
Do you have much of that? You know, like in the UK, you look in the UK, you look in the US, you have the people burning their own flag, hating their own flag, ripping it down. Is there any of that in Poland? Is there a little bit?
No, not at all. After the war, after the communism, no, we experienced this terrible, terrible times. And you would never see anyone doing that. I mean, obviously, we are a democratic country. There's so many differences, political differences in Poland, but no one would ever do such a thing. It's against your own nation. It's not against political party. It's against the people who lost their lives for these colours.
What do you think's gone wrong in Britain then?
Leftism is a cancer. And because of the communists, because we call them leftists, but they are mental communists. That's the problem. Communism was much worse than fascism. Much worse. Much more people. Many
People died under communism than under Nazism.
Of course, over 220 million. So this is a concern because of
Why do you think that's not equally talked about in history, in schools? Not in the UK. No one knows about communism. No one knows about the dangers of it. No one knows about how many people died. But they know everything about Nazism and fascism.
Because they sold their souls. They are sold. They are owned by those who wants to destroy Europe and
Re-implement communism.
Of course, they've got better suits, but the same cause, the same reason. It's like you would ask why communists, Bolshevism, and all this shit happened to Europe. Why? Because they hate humanity. They felt that they are better, that they are supreme creatures. We always discuss it about Nazis, but communists, they were even worse. By the numbers. We lost much more Europeans.
Do you think you understand it more here in Poland because you had to live under it, and in Britain, we didn't?
Yeah. You have to touch the bottom, and then you realize what the freedom is. That is the problem. You did not experience partitions, not being on the map for 123 years like Poland. You did not experience communism, real communism. I do remember as a little kid, 5, 6 years old, queuing for shoes for all night. I didn't get them, I remember that. I know what the communism is. You don't, and I hope you will not experience what we experience with Islamism, radical Islamism and caliphate. So thank God for you, Tommy.
Do you know what's interesting for me is that when I went to East Germany, I noticed the difference there as well. East Germans, because they understand, because they live behind the wall. And we were sat at a table having dinner, and there was an old gentleman, probably about 80, and he said, "This is communism. Shh, don't say that. Don't talk about Islam." He said, "We've seen this."
We had to whisper at my home.
We haven't seen this.
During the
Not on our
communism,
land.
we had to whisper. I remember my grandpa-father, my grandpa-mother, with my mom saying, "Shh, don't say it out loud. They can listen." I remember that. My father still is terrified when I speak out loud at home. He's 76, and he's like, "Oh, maybe you shouldn't." I said, "Dad, we are free. We are free now." He's 76. I remember whispering. I remember that if you wanted to discuss things about Poland, we had to take a walk to the cemetery because that was a safe place to discuss it. I remember that. That's communism. That's lack of freedom.
That's where we're at now. That's Britain.
right.
That's Britain now.
Modern
That's Britain
communism.
now. People scared to talk. People
You
afraid
cannot post anything.
because there are consequences for speaking.
We're going to fight it.
Yeah, come on.
Let's go.
Let's go.